Welcome back to the B&B Spoilers channel. Today, we're diving deep into the latest twists and turns surrounding the lives of Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, Remy Price, Hope Logan, and Steffy Forrester. The drama is escalating, and tensions are running high, with emotions and betrayals coming to the forefront. Let's break it down and take a closer look at these intense developments. Will Spencer's growing suspicion. Will Spencer is about to face an emotional storm when he crosses paths with Electra Forrester's old friend, Remy Price, at Il Giardino. What starts as an innocent encounter quickly turns into something much more complex. Remy, whom Electra hasn't seen in quite some time, surprises her by revealing that he's recently joined the restaurant staff. This revelation is a shock to Electra, who clearly wasn't expecting to run into him in such a setting. But for Will, this meeting holds a far more unsettling significance. Right from the start, Will is on edge. As soon as he meets Remy, he makes a point of saying, "I've heard a lot about you," trying to sound casual, though his words carry an underlying tone of caution. Will has never been one to simply let things slide, especially when it comes to Electra and her relationships. He listens intently as Remy and Electra chat about their past, picking up on every subtle detail. But as the conversation continues, Will's unease grows. He watches Remy closely, noting how comfortable Remy and Electra are together, and the familiarity between them only deepens his suspicion. There's something about the way they interact that makes Will feel like an outsider in his own relationship. But it's not just the easy camaraderie between the two that is unsettling. Will begins to feel an instinctive wariness, a sense that there's more to Remy than meets the eye. His gut tells him that there might be some hidden history, some unfinished business that Electra hasn't fully shared with him. Will's mind starts to race, and he can't shake the feeling that Remy may not be as trustworthy as he appears. Is this just paranoia on Will's part, or does he have a legitimate reason to be concerned about the potential influence Remy has on Electra's life? The deeper Will looks, the more he begins to question the true nature of Remy's intentions, and whether he might be a threat to his own future with Electra. As Will becomes more fixated on Remy, it raises the question of how much Electra has shared with him about her past. Does she have secrets she's keeping from Will? Will she eventually have to come clean about her history with Remy, or will her connection to him remain a mystery that only serves to push Will further into doubt and mistrust? The dynamic between the three of them is fraught with tension, and it's clear that Will's suspicions could lead to significant complications in his relationship with Electra. Steffy Forrester vs. Hope Logan, a confrontation of power. While Will is struggling with his feelings of insecurity and suspicion, Steffy Forrester is about to ignite a confrontation with Hope Logan that will have massive consequences for both women. The stakes are raised when Steffy learns about Hope and Carter Walton's covert attempt to take over Forrester Creations, a move that she feels not only threatens her family's legacy but also undermines the very foundation of the company. Furious about the betrayal, Steffy makes a bold decision to confront Hope face-to-face, and she doesn't waste any time in getting straight to the point. In a shocking visit to Hope's cabin, Steffy lays it all on the table. She doesn't hold back in her condemnation of Hope's actions. Steffy calls her disgusting and toxic, attacking her character and calling out her recent attempts to manipulate the situation at Forrester Creations. The tension in the room is palpable as Steffy reminds Hope of the damage she's done not only to the company but to the relationships within it. Steffy, in no uncertain terms, tells Hope that her behavior has crossed a line, and she holds nothing back in accusing Hope of destroying everything Steffy has worked for. But Steffy's anger isn't just about the failed coup, it's also deeply personal. One of Steffy's key points of contention is Hope's relationship with Carter. Steffy accuses Hope of playing with Carter's emotions, even suggesting that Hope has led him to betray his own career and loyalty to Forrester Creations. "He thinks he loves you and just threw away his career to defend you," Steffy says sharply. "You turned him against us. You set him against my father, his best friend." These words are a stinging reminder to Hope of just how far she's pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable, and Steffy's outrage is palpable. Steffy, who is fiercely protective of her family and the company her father built, sees Hope's actions as a direct threat not only to her professional world but to her family's very future. But Hope is far from cowed by Steffy's fiery words. While Steffy might expect Hope to apologize or back down, she is in for a surprise. Hope responds with a defiance that is both chilling and calculated. Despite Steffy's threats, Hope refuses to accept defeat, telling Steffy that she wouldn't be so sure about that. Even though Steffy is adamant that Hope's actions will have irreversible consequences, Hope is already plotting her next move. She won't let Steffy's harsh words or threats scare her off. In fact, Hope's resolve is only strengthened, and she remains determined to push forward with her plan to see Carter reinstated, perhaps even within Forrester Creations, despite his firing. The confrontation between Steffy and Hope isn't just about the failed takeover attempt, it's a power struggle between two women who each want to control their own fate. With Steffy's position at Forrester Creations shaken and Hope ready to move forward with her own plans, the battle lines are clearly drawn. But Hope isn't just focused on herself, she's also focused on Carter, who has become a pawn in this larger game. Will Hope be able to convince Carter to go through with their plans, despite everything that has happened? Will she be able to rally the support she needs to make the LLC papers a reality, even if it means defying Steffy and everyone else at Forrester Creations? The answer to these questions remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: Hope is not going down without a fight. The fallout and what's next. The fallout from both of these situations is bound to be significant. For Will and Elektra, the tension between them and Remy is only going to grow as Will continues to harbor doubts about Remy's intentions. As the plot thickens, Will may have to decide whether to confront Elektra about his suspicions, risking the trust they've built or keeping quiet and potentially allowing things to fester. The relationship between Will, Elektra, and Remy will be tested, and the stakes are high. As for Hope and Steffy, their rivalry is far from over. This confrontation is just the beginning, and both women will have to navigate a complicated web of power, betrayal, and ambition. Hope may be determined to see her plan through, but Steffy won't make it easy for her. As these two strong-willed women continue to clash, it's clear that there are bigger battles ahead, not only in the boardroom but in their personal lives as well. In conclusion, the drama unfolding in these storylines is only going to intensify. Will Spencer's growing suspicions, Hope's bold moves, and Steffy's unrelenting pursuit of justice will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. As these characters grapple with their relationships, their ambitions, and their past actions, the consequences of their choices will reverberate throughout their lives. Stay tuned, because the best, and most explosive, episodes are yet to come. Next, we're delving into an explosive new chapter in the ongoing drama surrounding Hope Logan, Ridge Forrester, Steffy Forrester, and Carter Walton. The stakes are higher than ever, and the tension in the Forrester family is reaching a boiling point. Let's break down the latest developments and explore what this means for the future of Forrester Creations and the characters involved. Ridge's shocking revelation. The episode opens with Ridge Forrester deeply immersed in his sketching, a rare moment of calm before the storm. As he takes a moment to reflect on his thoughts, his phone buzzes with an urgent message from Steffy. She's on her way to see him, and it's clear that the situation at Forrester Creations is reaching a critical point. When Steffy walks into his office, the tension is palpable. Ridge wastes no time and delivers a bombshell: Carter is no longer with this company. Steffy, naturally, is stunned by the news. She knows Carter well, and the idea of him being fired is jarring. Ridge doesn't hold back as he explains why he made the decision. He informs Steffy that Carter's betrayal, orchestrated through his involvement in Hope's LLC scheme, was simply too much to overlook. Ridge's face darkens as he recounts the details of Carter's disloyalty, and his anger is evident in his tone. Carter tried to take over the company, and I had no choice but to fire him, Ridge declares coldly. Steffy's shock quickly turns to disbelief as she processes the situation. The magnitude of Carter's betrayal hits her hard, but she's also taken aback by the depth of Ridge's conviction. "What does that mean?" she asks, her voice trembling with a mix of confusion and concern. Ridge doesn't sugarcoat anything. He fills her in on the entire situation, the LLC scheme, the takeover attempt, and explains that Carter, once a trusted ally, has now become a liability to the family business. Steffy's emotions run high as she begins to connect the dots. She quickly realizes that Hope is the one behind Carter's fall from grace. "I knew it," she exclaims, her voice rising with fury. "Oh my God, the agenda!" Steffy is furious, not only at Carter for his betrayal, but at Hope for manipulating the situation. In her eyes, Hope has been a master of manipulation, playing everyone, from Finn to Thomas to now Carter, like pawns in her game. "He didn't stand a chance," Steffy mutters bitterly. For her, the blame for Carter's downfall rests squarely on Hope's shoulders. "It's all on Hope. All of it." Hope's defiant response. Meanwhile, back at home, Hope tries to process the whirlwind of events. She reassures her mother, Brooke, that she's okay, but the tension is thick in the room. Brooke, ever the concerned mother, seizes the opportunity to have another heart-to-heart with her daughter. She expresses her regret that Hope isn't working with her, reiterating that Carter's actions were wrong and that both Hope and Carter made a huge mistake. Ridge is heartbroken, and he's furious, Brooke says, trying to convey the gravity of the situation. But Hope isn't in the mood for sympathy. She laughs dismissively at the idea of Ridge feeling betrayed, her eyes flashing with defiance. "I'm worried about Carter," she says pointedly, not Ridge. The sharpness in her tone reflects her frustration and her unwillingness to back down. As much as Ridge's anger is being directed at her, it's Carter's future that concerns Hope. After all, Carter is the one who has been let go, and she knows that his life, and their plan, are now in jeopardy. Brooke, however, isn't as quick to dismiss the seriousness of the situation. She admits that the circumstances are incredibly difficult for everyone involved, but she also reminds Hope that she had to know things wouldn't end well. "The Forresters don't always run the company," Hope responds, her voice tinged with defiance. "Sometimes, things need shaking up." Hope stands firm in her belief that what she did was necessary for the future of Forrester Creations, even if it meant rocking the boat. But Brooke, ever the pragmatist, is concerned about more than just the company's future. "You're putting yourself in a really dangerous position, Hope," she warns. "This isn't just about business, it's about your reputation, too." Hope brushes off her mother's concerns, rolling her eyes at the mention of Ridge's anger. "Surely it can't be anything that Ridge did," she says sarcastically, "or his co-CEO Steffy." The bitterness in her voice is unmistakable. Hope is tired of being painted as the villain, and she's growing increasingly frustrated with how quickly Ridge and Steffy are shifting the blame onto her. To Hope, it's clear that the Forresters are determined to make her the scapegoat for everything that's gone wrong. Brooke's support and unspoken tension. Brooke, always the loving mother, reassures Hope that she won't let anyone vilify her. While she may not agree with Hope's actions, Brooke will stand by her daughter and protect her from any undue blame. "I won't let them do that to you," Brooke promises, her voice softening as she places a hand on Hope's shoulder. This moment of maternal support is a small but crucial reminder that despite the tension within their family, Brooke's loyalty to Hope will never waver. However, even as Brooke offers this reassurance, there's an underlying tension in the room. Brooke can't completely absolve Hope of the responsibility in this situation, and she knows that Hope's actions have led them down a dangerous path. As the conversation shifts, it becomes clear that while Brooke may protect Hope from Steffy and Ridge's blame, she can't protect her from the consequences of her own decisions. Hope's role in the LLC scheme has already created significant turmoil, and the repercussions of her actions are far from over. For Hope, the conflict with Ridge and Steffy is about more than just business, it's about proving herself. She's determined to fight back against the narrative they're creating, and she's not going to let them turn her into a villain without a fight. But as she faces mounting pressure from every side, it's clear that her journey will be anything but easy. The Forrester family rift. The true extent of the rift in the Forrester family is coming to light. Ridge, in his anger and frustration, has made a decisive move to sever ties with Carter, a once loyal employee, in order to protect the family's legacy. But by doing so, he's also alienated Hope, his own daughter, and set the stage for even more conflict within the family. Steffy, ever the loyal supporter of her father, has taken up Ridge's cause, aligning herself fully against Hope. For both Ridge and Steffy, the situation has become personal, and it's clear that Hope's involvement in the scheme will not be easily forgiven. As for Hope, she is not backing down. With Brooke by her side, she feels more determined than ever to defend her actions. But the Forrester family is known for its fierce loyalty and tight-knit bonds, and Hope is finding herself increasingly isolated in this battle. While she believes that her actions were justified, the rest of the family sees them as nothing more than a betrayal. The question now is whether Hope will be able to rebuild the bridges she's burned, or if the damage done to her relationships with Ridge and Steffy is irreparable. In the coming episodes, it's clear that this family feud will escalate. Will Ridge and Steffy continue to team up against Hope, or will new alliances form to challenge their power? And how will Hope and Carter navigate the fallout from their failed plot? With so many moving parts, the drama at Forrester Creations is far from over, and the consequences of these actions will reverberate throughout the entire Forrester family.